Hey up there guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. You're with me, the Autistic Biker. So this is literally the day after we last came out here on a ride, showing you all the nice well, this like back route, you know, to take to Matlock if any of you was interested. So as you can see, we've done it proper this time, as you've just seen. So we've been on that road, and then you turn right, indicate right, and then it puts you into like a right, sort of like right turn only feeder lane, just like exactly just like we have just done. And basically it brings you onto here, and here we are. So I didn't quite hit record on video before this one as early as I just have done for us all, but I've definitely, you know, press record plenty enough in time this time round. I know we only just came here, the video before this one, so we're sort of like seeing it all again, but I thought, well, so what, why not? You know, just like people might say, yeah, but why? Why though? You only just came here like literally day before, and we've seen it all on past previous video before this one. So why? I just countered that and just said, you know what? Why not? Just absolutely, why not? It's like, yeah, and then you see this bridge, that's it. You take this left slightly under this like water bridge. I've said it on a couple of few of my previous videos on this channel, the Autistic Biker, where I've actually said you are never ever going to capture an uncanny mirror image, slap bang same resemblance each and every time. Each ride out, no matter, even if you're taking the slap bang same mirror reflecting image, sort of like slap bang same routes and roads over and over again, no matter how many times you do that, yeah, the beauty is no days are the same as each other, and I've said that a couple of few times, you know what I mean, on a couple of few of my previous videos on this channel. You're never ever going to capture the slap bang same uncanny resemblance, you know, like a mirror image reflection looking back at you every single day. Well, you know, every single time you take that slap bang same route, you just know there's always going to be something, in fact more than one, there's always going to be at least like a couple of few things that are always going to be different. And that's the spice in life, and that's the beauty, and that's always going to be the case. Do you know what I mean? Yep, like I said again, you know what I mean, plenty of safe laybys, plenty. Yeah, I'm using DriftGhostXLPro, which is Drift's up to now so far as we speak, latest, most recent action camera. I've got it on a 2.7K at 50 FPS, 50 frames per second. I've got ISO on 100, not on auto, on 100, 100. I've got exposure on 0. And I've got the video filter on normal, not on vivid like I usually do, but just on normal this time, and video stabilization so it doesn't narrow eye view and so it's not choppy. I've not got it on, I've got video stabilization off. So do do do, the miners stand, the miners stand. Ah. Got some fellow bikers behind us. Oh no, just one. Into a 40. And this is the pub. Yep, the Hollybush Inn, or just Hollybush Inn. I bet I'm going to be healthily tired tonight, and I bet I'm going to have a very healthy night's sleep. I bet I'm going to be tired more early than usual, and I bet I'm going to fall asleep more easily than usual, and I bet I'm going to have an all-round more better night's sleep than usual. All because of this wind therapy. Wind therapy. In, up through the nasal passages, through the nostrils, through the nose, up down into the lungs, and then out, back out from the mouth. Oh, feels like you're meditating. Feels like you're dreaming. But in such, at the same time, still on a very, very, very alert. A very, very alert sort of way. At the same time as feeling like you're dreaming. And you're meditating. But at the same time, like I said, in a weird way, but a very good weird way, such alertness about you. Woodside Cafe's open, if that is the name of it. If I've got that name right, if I've remembered the correct name of it from yesterday. Woodside Cafe. Bonsall. So we already know of a place, don't we, called Bothamsole or Bothamsole. That place is called Bonsall. Yeah, my dream bike, if I had money, if I did have money to get one, my dream bike is a Yamaha Bolt. If any of you guys have heard of or know of a Yamaha Bolt, I think they 900 and something odd daft cc like that. They're something like odd, you know, like an odd daft cc like that. Like they're not exactly a straightforward like 600, 750, 650. 300 or out like that. They're not like a round number, but fucking hell. Yeah, they're like 900 and some odd cc. They're like just under. Oh, that smells nice. Paint. That paint smell. Oh. Yeah, they're like slightly just under like 1000 cc. They're not quite 1000. But yeah, Yamaha Bolts, they're sort of like a well, I don't think sort of. I mean, they are a like a cruiser type motorcycle. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think they're as such like a chopper or a lowrider. They're not like a chopper or a lowrider, but they are still classed as like a cruiser. You know, like where handlebars are like much more relatively higher than the seat, and the seat slopes down, and you're quite low to ground on them. You know, like a typical classic, yeah, cruiser. Well, lowrider in a way, you know what I mean. But yeah, always wanted one. If I had enough money, yeah, my dream bike, I'd get one. But it ain't just one of them sort of like well, So what if it were with what I'm about to say? So what if it were, so what if I'm one of these people that's got a habit, a tendency, traits and tendencies about me of always changing his mind left, right and centre, so what? But this isn't the case anyway, all said and done. I've always had my mind on and had my heart set on a Yamaha Bolt. I've always wanted a Yamaha Bolt, but what my plan were to do with one, if I were to get one, is I've always wanted to get one where you ride around for like a good year or two or something, you know, like with the standard factory Yamaha Bolt exhaust on, you know, literally factory standard, and that's it. And you get used to it for about a year or two to do it performance, sight, sound, more than anything, the sound of it, and you know, and everything. And then I wanted to, like, purposely, after about a year or two, actually put what you call like a Vansed Hines, or either a Yoshi, do you call them like a Yoshi Mishiro, a Yoshimura, yeah, a Yoshimishira or a Yoshimura exhaust, or like I said, a Vansed Hines. Yeah, like custom exhaust on, you know, to give me sense something to like look forward to, if that makes sense, you know, to get that more of that, little bit more of that, more power, like delivery output from it, and so it looks more stylish and attractive, and it can give bike more of a different look. But more than anything, saving the best till last, what is the most exciting of all is the sound, you know, to like give it like a completely other different like tone and pitch of a sound, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, something to like strive forward to and look forward to. A whole new different tone and pitch to exhaust sound and everything, and, you know, look forward to it. And here we go, we've signal left nice and safely. Keep it in first gear, cancel indicator, engine off, and we're here. Right guys, see you at next part. It's been a pleasure, see you at next part. Hey up there guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. So part 2 of 2, just like yesterday, but only yesterday we can sell like or should I at least say, to make it sound more simple and better, the video before this, it was bang same video before this, part 1 of 2 coming here, part 2 of 2 going back. But only that with day 1. So this is part 2 of 2 going on way back. On way here, it was part 1 of 2. But only this now, if you think about it, this is day 2 of 2. Video before this was with day 1 of 2. This is day 2 of 2. And part 2 of 2. Going back home. I've just called in and stopped at my all-time favourite coffee shop, Fig Coffee House, right on other end of the famous Matlock strip. Fig Coffee House, you call it. Yeah, so the video before this one, I called in and I had a caffeine, so a caffeinated latte. Today, this time, video after it, I've had a decaffeinated latte. So oh, you can smell that weed. And you better not be blocking my right turn. Yep, stay where you are, white van. That's it, thank you, lovely. Good man. Or woman, not blocking my right turn. Oh, that smell of paint again. At least to do with having no choice but to go extra slow on this road that we're on, to do with that, like whatever vehicle it's classed as, truck, lorry, I don't know, HGV, irrelevant to what it's classed as, but basically it's slowing it, a slow moving vehicle. That's the beauty though about having like a slow moving, a big heavy lump slow moving vehicle in front of you. It gives you no choice but to go slow, if that makes sense. So because you've got no choice, it gives you no choice but to go slow, because they force you to slow down. That's the beauty. That's the beauty all about them. The fact that you can actually see more. The slower you go, the more you see. It's that simple, it really is. The slower you go, the more you see. Look at this beauty. An old cable car there, look. Unless it's not a real one. It's either like an out of service one, an old one but real one, or it's a cable car replica. Either way, it's letting you know. One at Many Staples of Matlock, Heights of Abraham. Cable cars, Heights of Abraham. So yeah, it's letting you know when it's Staples of Matlock, so you're very close to Matlock. I think we have to keep a very steady, careful, cautious look out for the pub on right on corner, don't we? Video before this we went past it, didn't we? So you know what I mean. Here we go. Yep. Let's not miss this right. I think bloody thank goodness now we're off at road where there were speed cameras. I don't think there's speed cameras on this road that we're on. quite strong headwind. I'm only saying quite strong, it's not bad, it's not that bad. I love headwind anyway. I can cope with it, I can hack it. You know what I mean? I like headwind, I do. Headwind. Okay, and we're at this giveaway again. Quite a safe, relatively enough open giveaway. Just got to watch vehicles coming around that that left quite short bend there, coming around with some speed, do you know what I mean? And then here we go. This is where we merged into right feeder lane and turned right up here. So now we're back onto, you know, this what I run about, quite a common main route dragging to Matlock, that way, going that way. Yeah, right guys, I'm going to end it there. Okay. So yeah, you've been with me, the Autistic Biker. It's been a pleasure as always. Thanks so much, I do appreciate it. Remember, if you are riding, ride safe. Watch out for them other idiots out there on the road. Alright. Until next one, I'll see you. Cheers guys. Take care, bye.